Hello, my name is Chris, and I am the creator of Boss This 8000. We will be talking about a little bit more in depth or in detail about each of the cards. And so let's go ahead and open up the deck and take a look at what's inside. Now this is geared towards who plays as the Juggernaut, which can be anyone. This is only used for him, who he is against everyone, and everyone on a team is against him. Now you have about 11 or 12 different cards here, and they go up to 4 of the same card, but they do devastating blows. So let's take a look of what he can actually do to players. So for example, you have this one, and this says in the description, if you Juggernaut picks up from the deck, but he chooses 3 cards that he would like to keep. Put any remaining cards back in the deck. So if you have one card, one of these cards, then you can pick up to 5 cards from the deck and then choose any 3 that you would like. But now let's say you have, so here's the second one. If you have 2 of them, then this becomes stronger. And now you can pick up 10 cards. If you have 4 of these same cards, you can pick up 20 cards, which really increases the chances of you getting exactly the 3 cards that you want. And so that is really good for him. But most of these cards are against other opponents. So let's look through this even further. So here's another one called Recycle. It says all opponents must recycle or discard different types of cards, whether from their hand, bank, or properties laid out. And then the properties would go back in the Monopoly deck, and you would reshuffle. So if you only have one of these, everyone would discard their cash cards. If you notice, they're all opponents. Now if I have all the way down here to the 4th one, 4 of these cards, everyone would get rid of cash and all their property cards. Basically, he just took over the whole game. But it is very difficult to get 4 of these. So most of these are extremely overpowered, but hard to actually get 4 of the same card. So let's look some more. Oh, here's an interesting one that I like. Not to go against, but this one is called the Earthquake. And it says all opponents' properties, along with houses and hotels, have been badly damaged. Repair them back to normal for the value of the card or higher. If you cannot pay certain properties, you must discard them into the discard pile. And you use bank money. So what does that mean? So let's put this down for a second. Let's say you have 2 properties and you want to keep them, but he lays down this card and he only has 1, let's say. So it's just 1 value. That means you have to pay, not him actually, but the bank or the discard pile, the value of these cards, which is 8 million. So you would grab 8 million, put it in the discard pile to keep them. But now what if he has 2 of these cards and lays them down? Then you would have to times it by 2, and it would cost 16 million to keep these cards. That's a lot of money. Might be possible. And if it goes down to 4, well, you can tell that it's not going to be possible. So all your cards will be gone. So that one is very difficult. And you have ones like Car Loan, which is geared towards one player paying in a certain amount. A Will, which is actually just for the Juggernaut himself. He inherits money, so this would be good for him. Let's see. Here's another one called Suspicious Activity. It says place this card in the discard pile. No one is allowed to discard or put actions into the center for a certain amount of rounds. So if you have 1, it's going to be 1 round. If you have 4 of these cards, it's going to be 4 rounds. And by the way, it does include the boss cannot put down actions or discard cards into the discard pile. Another one called Proof says the state needs proof that you haven't stolen anything valuable from the country. All opponents place any cards from their hand on the table in front of you for 1 round. If you cannot lay down the required amount, you lose a turn. So from your hand, or from opponent's hand, excuse me, they must lay down 2 cards. And if they cannot, then they must, or lose a turn. That one, probably somebody will have at least 2. But if you're going down to 6 or 8, most people will not have 8, so everybody would likely lose a turn. So you can see how these can be really difficult against other people who are playing against the Juggernaut. And that's pretty much it. Look at the other videos of how to actually play the game. Thanks. Bye.